if you want to grow a significant business, particularly in software, particularly in enterprise software, I think almost without exception, you need to be an international business, and you need to be addressing the major international markets. And China and Japan, to name only those two, are within the top five IT marketplaces in the world.
The action for renewable chemicals globally is in three regions. It's in North America, South America, and in Asia, and particularly China, where it's an advanced and fast-growing economy, and lots of support for green chemicals and actually the green agenda more generally.
Because of outdated services, like in Japan, I do believe fintech companies can do super good in Japan.
The biggest hurdle initially was persuading some of my colleagues and our board that this was even worth doing. I mean, there was a huge amount of nervousness for an IP-rich business like Plaxica that going into China, people might steal our technology, copy it.
Challenge number one was language barrier. Obviously, I'll use Japan as an example, but there are not too many people who can speak English. And it's almost zero people who can speak English in kind of business meeting, for example.
The hurdle was finding the right distributors, and that's a language and a cultural issue, as well as sort of the feet on the ground market issue.
We were looking for somebody who can give us advice, what partner is better, what kind of legal structure is better for us, what should be the next step for us in this particular market.
Fundamentally, I needed a Western-oriented partner in terms of dealing with a company who can take us out to the market, who I could deal with in my own language and our own culture, but who could deploy the expertise and cultural understanding in a country that I didn't understand.
Intralink had a very unique proposition. It helped give us credibility. And with credibility in those Asian markets, then you can do business.
It was bridging that cultural and language gap between a UK business and Chinese clients. It was somebody who did that without just being a pure play salesperson, who took the time to understand the technology. And what was really evident is when I came to know the Chinese clients personally, is how much they trusted the Intralink guy and how much they saw Daniel as part of our team.
Intralink doesn't do it well, it does it very well. It does it seamlessly in language terms with the people that you're dealing with.
Intralink introduced us to top quality Chinese chemical companies who were capable of licensing our technology and met our values in terms of things like security of intellectual property. But the other thing that Daniel, who worked for us in China via Intralink, he learnt our technology. I mean, you can't sell this stuff without actually understanding it. And he's not a chemist. He took the time to learn the technology, and he was a credible representative of us in China when we weren't there. So rather than me being on a plane every 4 weeks going back to see the client, the intermediate meetings were handled by Daniel himself. And he gave us really good advice about how to handle things like the negotiations, how to handle things like stage payments, how to handle intellectual property.
So actually working with Intralink really was the big step forward. That was the big step forward. Things changed very immediately and very significantly when we appointed Intralink.
If we'd have known what we know today, we'd have gone into China probably a year earlier. We'd have spent less time debating it and just gone on with it, because it turned out to be a good experience.